Good morning, Leandro. How are you?
Good morning, teacher. I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine too. Thanks for asking. Okay, well, let's please begin. And well, today we are going to start with this new model 11, which is almost the last one. All right. So let's please start. And well, what are you going to be reviewing on this model in vocabulary? It's related to hair looks, or words that describe the hair. Okay, how you have your hair, meaning the cut, the color, and well, the way how it looks. The first word, it's the pixie cut. Well, the pixie cut, it's a cut like we call it here male cut, right? This is the pixie cut, very short hair. Bob, it's like Dora the Explorer, as we can see here, right? That's bob. A bun, it's a type in which we put our hair back. Nurses uses bun. Short blonde. We're now here. We are not just mentioning the type of the hair, the length. We are also talking about the color. All right, blonde. Here, long wavy hair. Long, we are describing the length, the shape, wavy, and here curly and ringlets. What is the difference between wavy, curly, and ringlets? Wavy is whenever you have some shape. Curly whenever you have more curls, it's more. And ringlets when it's very, very curly, like the sheep, you know. And the size, the length, long, medium length. And here we have another style on how we make our hair looks like the ponytail. Dyed hair whenever we color our hair. Gray hair, red hair. We have the pigtails. We have the plaits in which we braid our hair. We have the man bun, the comb over, which is like Elvis Presley style, the dreadlocks. Do you know what is the meaning of dreadlocks?
And no, I don't.
Whenever they include products in your hair to make it look like strips, they use flour, I think, and other kinds of ingredients para hacerte las rastas. That's the dreadlock. Bald whenever you don't have hair, and the mohawk whenever this is kind of like rock style. And the mohawk, it's actually a coming this word from a Native American culture, the mohawks, which they look, their hair looks like this. If you google the mohawk culture, like Native Americans, they wear their hair like this. But for them, it's not like referring to rock or anything like that, right? It refers to basically the culture. Okay. And well, these are some words that you can use to describe hair of yours, friends, and everyone whenever you're describing a person. Doubts or questions?
Yeah, could you explain me again the difference between wavy, curly, and ringlets?
Of course. Wavy is whenever you have a little bit, as you can see here in the picture, it's not curly, right? But you see that there are some curls, no? A little bit. Curly is when it's more. And ringlets is ya extremadamente churco, ¿no? Extremadamente rizado. And sometimes some people, to have this kind of style, they go to hairstylists to make it artificially. That's the difference. This is ringlet, like very curly. This is somewhat, you have curls, but it's not like this. This one is well done. Like Brazilians heritage also they have ringlets. And wavy is just whenever you see that you have some shape of curly, but it's not all of your hair. That's basically the difference.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Could you describe your hair? How is your hair?
I think my hair would be the typical like pixie cut.
Okay,
Yeah,
and is it straight, curly,
yeah. What does it mean straight?
without curls, recto, liso?
Oh, yeah, it's straight. Teacher, could you explain me what is comb over?
Comb over is a style in which you comb your hair. Like Elvis Presley.
Oh, that is comb
Yes,
over.
whenever you have here in front, you have like a bun in front, and then yeah, this is like a style.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, my
All
hair
right.
is pixie cut and it's straight, I think, and it's black.
And have you ever maybe wanted to dye your hair?
No, I really, it really doesn't call my attention. Doesn't call
Okay,
my
all
attention.
right. What do you think about dreadlocks?
I think it can be nice in someone, like everything. Like it can be nice in someone that was born to wear dreadlocks. But yeah, I think that they are aesthetic.
Okay, you're right. Yes, and well, we used to see this in foreign people like before, only in foreigners, but nowadays we see that not a lot, but nowadays it's not very common, but we see people now and hairstylists that make this. And well, all right, let's please move forward. Let's go on to grammar. Well, on grammar, you're going to be reviewing about the causative verbs. This is something that we have seen before, but here we are going to be specifically reviewing on the structure, the meaning of it, and examples to apply. Here, get. Get is always going to be followed by a person and also followed by the preposition to and a verb. And the meaning of these can be two things. The first one, to convince someone to do something. And here we have an example. Could you read it, please?
How can teachers get their students to read more?
And to
We could
trick someone into doing something?
we couldn't get him to sing the agreement.
Yes. And so these are the two meanings, okay, of get, followed by a person, followed by an infinitive. Get a person and infinitive to convince someone to do something or to trick someone into doing something. Have. Again, have is always going to be followed by a person and a verb without the preposition. And the meaning is to authorize someone to do something. And here we have the example, please.
He had the technician check the photocopy machine.
Correct. And make is going to be followed again by a person and by a verb. And the meaning is to force someone to do something. Force. Here.
My dad made me apologize for what I done.
And let is also going to be followed by a person and a verb. And the meaning is to allow something to do someone. Sorry, allow someone to do something. And here we have the example.
Will your parents let you go to the festival?
Yes. Well, as you can see, all of the causative verbs are going to be followed by a person. And in the first case, just with get by an infinitive, and in the rest by a verb. But the meaning is the difference, right? The first one is to convince someone or to trick someone to do something. Have, authorize, make, force someone to do something, and let, allow someone to do something.
What are the difference between let and have? Because allow and authorize, it's kind of the same.
Oh, okay. Have is specifically to authorize, and the other one is basically to allow, permitir, ¿no? Que alguien haga algo. You are allowing, but you're not authorizing.
And what is the difference between allowing and unauthorizing?
Basically, in the first one, you are making someone to fix or to do something. You are making that person do something. And in the other one, maybe it's the person's will that he or she wants to do it, and you're just allowing. You're saying, okay, go ahead, but you're not forcing, you're not authorizing, you're not saying you have to do this and you will do it. It's like you're saying, okay, you want to do it, all right, do it. That's the difference between allow and authorize.
Could you make me an example? Like,
Sure, of course. The boss authorized me to present the report by tomorrow. And the other one, my aunt allowed me to use her heels. My aunt let me use her heels, and my boss, we can say, the boss had me or had her to present the report tomorrow.
then authorize is like allow someone to do something, but the someone doesn't want to do that specifically.
Of course, it's like you are bossing someone.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand.
And in the other one, allow is basically like just saying, okay, go ahead. But the other one is authorizing. It's like saying, you have to do it. It's mandatory. It's a must.
If it's mandatory, it's not forced, as may.
It could be, but in this one, it's also not referring to. It's basically like saying it has not the same meaning as force, because that way you will be using make. But authorize is basically like saying like you have to do it, you know? It's close to a must, but not as a must. I don't know if you get this. Maybe we can separate it as an scale. And as it will be a scale, in the bottom we will have let. Next, we will have the verb have. And on the top, we will have make. That will be the ranking on frequency, we can say.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right, let's please work on the practice. There you go. Let me know if you have any other further doubts or questions while doing the practice, okay?
Okay, I will let you know.
All right, thank you.
Okay, teacher, I've already finished.
All right, great. And how did you do?
I think good. I got 9 out of 10. But could we review that? That I'm wrong. I would like to see the answer.
Of course. All right, let's see. Okay, here. Number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, makes. You chose make, basically to force, no?
Yes.
All right. Professor Smith makes each of his students write force. I don't think force. I think made or he has. Okay. I will also include made. No, he authorized or let them do. Have. Okay, has. Why? Because as I said before, no has authorize someone to do something.
Then the kids wanted to write a story about his fears. No, their
And
fears.
anxieties. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe it was like a value or maybe it was like a psychology subject. So Professor Smith has each of his students write a story about their most inner fears and anxieties. Mm,
Okay.
yes, because teachers don't force; they make students do. Right? I will say not make. Well, has. We have our students do their homework. And of course that in some cases we have students not doing their assignments as well. So authorize. Okay, let's please move on. Next thing is reviewing the difference between have something done and get something done. What is the difference between these two? Well, let's begin with the first one. Have something done, okay, and get something done. Both are used to refer to actions which are done for the subject rather than by the subject. Of course, no? The subject is going to be doing these actions. No? Get something done and have something done. Causative verbs are used instead of passive verbs to show that the subject causes the action to be done. The differences are that have a slightly more formal. Okay, sorry. Have is slightly more formal than get. So this is the only difference. Have is more formal than get, nothing else. And get is more frequent than have in the imperative form. So whenever we are giving orders, making imperative statements like do something, do this, work on that, we are going to be using this, get something done. And well, here we have two examples of using these two, have something done and get something done. The first one, could you read it, please? I don't know.
I don't know how to repair cars, so I'm having mine repaired at the garage around the corner.
Correct. And get something done.
I really must get my eyes tested. I'm sure I need glasses.
Yes. So this is it. The difference is the formality. Okay. So have is more formal than get. And well, get is more frequently used in imperative form. For
Okay.
example, if I would like to change this statement into imperative, get your eyes tested. Yeah. And well, this is it. Doubts or questions, Leandro?
Then the only difference is that one is more informal and the other is less informal.
Exactly. And that get, oops, sorry, get, you can use in the imperative form.
And for example,
Yes. For example, Get your eyes tested. No?
It's an order.
Yes, that's an imperative form. No, when someone orders you to do something, which is important for you. Get the door closed.
Okay, 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 I understand.
Yes. All right. Work on the practice and let me know, please.
Okay, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, teacher,
Yes, tell me.
can you explain me how to do the homework? Because I don't know exactly how to use. If I have to use I have, like I have my car washed, or I had my car washed. And what
Either.
could be the difference?
Okay, it could be on the tense. You have to read on the statement. If it's in the present, you will use have. If it's in the past, have. Example, causatives. Here we have. Change these examples into the structure have, followed by the object, and followed by the past participle. Or get, followed by the object and the past participle. For example, I cleaned my kitchen with have. I had cleaned, I had my kitchen cleaned. Yes, you have to use everything in the past because you're using the verb in the past participle. So everything is going to be in the past.
And
I
then
had
what could be the difference between
my car.
I have my car washed and I had my car washed?
Sorry, again, your two examples, please. Could you repeat them?
And what could be the difference between I had my car washed and I have my car washed?
I have. Well, I have will be in the present and had will be in the past.
Okay,
I have
but
my car washed. Wash. No, and you in that way you will need the verb in the base form, not in the past. But in this case, if we are following this structure, everything is in the past. So it's a past action, something that you did in the past. I had my car washed. No,
okay,
you're
and
easy
when we
about
use have, the verb is going to be in what tense?
when we use have, my verb
Yes,
must
have.
be have, my verb must be in the base form. And when we use had, we have to use the verb in the past participle tense.
But it says, like in the order says, and change these examples into the structure have plus object plus past participle,
Mhm.
not with the base form.
Yes, here it's with have, right? But because you're using the verb in the past participle tense, the structure is going to be this one, right? Of course, the one that it says here with have. But you know, because you're using the verb in the past participle tense, you have to change have by had. Because you cannot say, I have my kitchen cleaned in the past. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's why I was getting confused by this rule that it says have plus object plus past participle.
Yes, sorry, it's the structure. You know, whenever we also do the continuous form, we said be, we don't say amisar, right? We say be, verb be followed by the past participle. In that case, we don't have to use the verb be at itself. No, we have to use been in the past participle. It's just because of the structure.
Then
So
when we
everything
use
is
have and get in the present, the verb must be in the base form.
in the present in the base form. And when this in the past of have and get, and then the past participle verb.
Okay, and in the first examples, like if there are just words separated by lines, and I washed, it could be it is I had my car washed.
Correct. I had my car washed.
Okay, okay, I understand. That was I am getting confused by this structure.
Of course, I understand totally. You were just wanted to following, right? What it says. But as I said
Okay.
before, it's just a formula, you know, whenever we have a formula, but we have to adapt the formula of either the present or the past. That is just that. Don't worry. So everything is
And when I use the present continuous, like I'm having the verb in what tense?
in the continuous form. Or you can say,
I'm having my car washed in the
no,
past.
I'm having my car, well, in the continuous form. Let's see. I'm having my car washed. Wash. I'm having my car washed. It must be in the present tense because you're already
In the
applying the
present.
ing. Yes, because you will be already applying ing into the Causative. Having.
But in the example that you gave me, like in the pictures, it says, I'm having my mind repaired, like in the past.
Sorry, in the example that I gave you here.
Yes, yes, in that page. In the example on the
It
in the
says here.
red chart.
I don't
I'm
know
having
how
mine
to
repaired.
repair cars. I'm having mine repaired at the garage. Oh, okay. But I think this one wouldn't include like as continuous, right? I'm having mine repaired. Yo estoy haciendo arreglar el mío, ¿no? I'm having mine repaired. All right. So in the past. Yes, of course. All right. Yes, it's in the past. Sorry, not in the base form. It's in the past.
Okay, then when we use present continuous, is in the past.
Exactly.
And do you know the form of the verb when we use future, like I will have?
I will have mine repaired. It will be in the same in the past. I will have the only thing that will change will be here in the auxiliary form here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Then the only tense when when the verb is in the base form is with have and get
In the
in the present.
present. Exactly. In the
In
present. Yes,
all of
always.
the other, the verb will be in the past
In the
participle.
past. Exactly.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Thank
All right. Sorry, talking about present, past, and everything made me confused, but yes, always in the past.
you. Except when we use have and get.
Yes.
Okay. And it is like that, like when we use have and get, but because in the other example, like in the green chart, it says, I really must get my A's tested. Then there you use a modal verb, and of course you have to use the pre- the present verb of get, that is get, and the verb is in the past.
Yes. It will
Then
depend on the context here. Because here, as you can see, the second statement, it says, I'm sure I need glasses. It's in the present, this one, right? And this one is also in the present. Tested is in the past. Mm-hmm.
yes,
As long
then
as,
when
as
we
long as
use
it,
have or get, which is the form of the verb.
in what time?
When we use have and get, like in the present.
In the present, it must be in the present, as you see here. But don't forget something very important, right? Get is more frequently used in the imperative form. That's why here we are making a statement. The first part is in the present.
Yes, but okay, and the verb have and get is in the present, but the other verb, like my eyes tested,
In the
the other
past.
verb in the past.
Yes. Like here. Repaired, tested, past.
Okay, then when we use have and get, which is gonna be the base, the form of the verb.
In the present time, you mean?
Yes, when I use have and get.
Well, it's going to be used in the past.
Always in the past participle.
Not in the past participle. In the past participle is going to be when you use have in the past. Had. When you are using had, the verb must be in the past participle tense.
Okay, and when I use
And when
have,
you use gotten in the past got, sorry, in the past, the modal verb got, also in the past participle. It's like this. Verb in the base form, simple past. Verb in the simple past, past participle. Do you see
then
the
there isn't any case where the verb, like the verb after the object, is in the base form.
no? Here we are talking about this base form, simple past.
Yes, but
Simple
I'm
past,
talking about the verb
past
tested, for
participle.
example. The other verb
It's
in
not going
any
to be in
case
the
can
present.
be in the present.
Hmm.
Okay.
Let me think of an example in the present. I get my eyes. No, because you're making someone do the action, so it's not going to be in the base form. Never, never ever.
Okay, yeah. I was getting confused because you told me this like minutes before, like when we use have or get, the verb is in the base form, and I was like, no, it can't be because, as you said, you are getting someone to do something.
Yes, I refer to the base form of the verb get and have, because in the example you told me why in the practice I am seeing that it says have and get, but then it's followed by a past participle, right? That was your first question. Because you told me I
Then,
don't understand the formula because it says here I have followed by the object and the past participle. And your question was why is have and I have to use the past participle. And I said, when you use the verb in the base form, have, then you have to use in the simple past. That was your
okay,
first question,
then
right?
yes.
Mm-hmm. It was because on the formula that we see in the practice is not written like here. It's not like I said before, verb in the base form and then simple past, verb in the simple past, past participle. It's not like this. It's not explained like this, but because whenever in
Okay,
English
then
the
okay.
verb
Let's make a review. Let's make a review. When I use have and get, like in the present form, the best must be in the
simple
past simple or past participle.
simple past.
Simple past.
Yes. And when the verb have and get is in the simple past, the main action in the sentence, which is going to be the verb, the action must be in the past participle.
Okay. Verb have and get.
Have and get in the base form, action in the sentence, simple past. Had and got in the past, in the simple past, no? Have and get
Sorry,
in the
sorry, sorry.
simple
I
past.
was receiving a call. And okay, then when we use have or get, the verb is in the simple past.
Yes.
When we use had or got, the verb is in the
Past participle.
okay past participle. And when we use like having, like in the having, or in the present
This
continuous,
in the simple past.
okay, also is in the simple past.
In
Okay,
the
okay.
simple past, yes.
Having or getting is in the simple past. And when we use like will have or will get in the future,
In the simple past.
okay. Then the only case when we use past participle is when the verb is in the past, like had or got.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like confusing, no, with these causatives. Because we have to remember something that we are making or doing someone do something for us. That's the reason why.
Okay. Is there any case like it is present, past, continuous, and will? Also, when we use like modal verb like must, the verb is in the present, and we use the simple past.
Yes. You're going to be basically focusing on the verb, which tense is using the causative first. And when you identify the causative, then you know what you have to do to change the verb, the action, you know?
Okay, and in the past continuous, like I was having, for example, the verb is going to be in the past participle.
In the past participle, because we are already talking all of the present perfect tenses, you know? All
Hmm?
of the present perfect tenses are going to be using past participle, all of them. But right now you're saying that if you're going to be using the verb to be in the past,
Yeah, I think. Then when we use the past continuous, is in the past participle, is the verb.
past continuous, yes. I was, for example, I was having the dinner cooked by the maid or helper. Yep, indeed. Yes. Well, everything is going to be in the simple past as well. It depends on the verb, you know. When have and get are being used in the present time, no matter if it's present simple or present continuous, your verb is going to be in the simple past. But whenever have and get are going to be in the past, like using past continuous, no, in the
Yeah.
past time, your action in the sentence will be in the past participle tense. That's the relation.
Okay, then also when I use present perfect, for example, or I don't know if it's possible, but the verb
No,
should
it's
be.
not going to be possible in the present in the present perfect. You know why? Because the auxiliary of the present perfect is have. And you couldn't be using a causative have and also a structure in the present perfect, which the auxiliary is going to be the same. You cannot say I have. You cannot repeat the
Yeah.
auxiliary and the causative. So it's not going to be possible in the present perfect.
Okay, then the only cases where I can just like have something done is in the present, like have or get, in the past, past simple with had and got, in the present continuous, like having and getting, in the future, like will have and will get, and in the past continuous with was having and was getting. And
Exactly.
anymore.
Basically talking about uh, simple present, simple past, and simple future. Not the perfect tenses, not even one of the present perfect tenses, because if we're talking about present and past and also future continuous with the present perfect, all of them are going to be using the auxiliaries have. So you cannot.
Okay then, I thought, okay, yeah. Then with the
Yes, as you
present
said
simple, past
before.
simple, present continuous,
Mhm.
past continuous, and the future simple.
Exactly.
It exists the future continuous or not?
The future continuous tense. Yes, we
Yes.
have the future continuous tense.
And also with this, we should use in the case of have something done or not.
We could, because the auxiliary for the future continuous tense is be, followed by the verb in the ing form.
It is like will having.
I will be going. I will be going to the supermarket. That's the future continuous tense.
Okay,
But if you
then in
apply,
this case it will be I will be having.
I will be having my daughter buy a notebook. That means that I'm going to make my daughter do something for me.
I will be having my daughter, and the verb is going to be in the
In
present,
No, I will
in
be
the past
having my
simple.
daughter I will be having my daughter. I cannot say but because that will be in the past and we are talking about the future. In this case, the verb must be in the base form. I will be having my daughter buy a new book or new CD for me. Why? Because we are talking about a structure of the future tense. Therefore, we cannot use a past action
Yeah,
because we cannot
exactly.
do say something that we are going to do and then mention an action that already happened. That will be contradictory, right? That will be the opposite.
Okay, and also with the present simple, like I will have, the verb is going to be in the, no, there is going to be in the simple past. I think that.
Yes, because you are using have in the present simple, right?
Yes, I will have, and the verb is going to be in the simple present,
Simple past.
simple past.
Simple.
Okay.
Why? Because you're using have in the present tense.
Yes, I will have. And when I, for example, when the future continuous, I will be having, is I think that this is the only case when I use the verb in the base form.
In the base form, yes, because you cannot otherwise, if you understand the structure of the future continuous tense, it's like you wouldn't be applying a verb and action in the past, right? If you're talking about the future.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then
That's the
these
relation.
six are the only, or there are more, or are there more?
No, these are the only ones. Because if you review the tenses that we have seen is after the simple tenses, we work with the perfect tenses. And after the perfect tenses, we also review the past perfect tenses. And past perfect tenses and perfect tenses both use auxiliary have. In the present have participle and then the other one in the past had. So we cannot repeat had or have. So only
We
you're going to
cannot.
be working in the simple tenses in which the auxiliaries are not going to be the same as have and get.
Okay.
Mhm. In this case, have, right? Because get is not an auxiliary for any grammar tense. It's just a causative verb and a regular verb. Only
Okay,
have
then
because of
we cannot repeat the auxiliary like I have had. We cannot do that. It's
of of,
impossible.
of course we cannot.
Oh, this is strange because I remember that when I was in my last academy of English, like it was the Beck, I remember that we advanced this. Like, if it, for example, said, I
I
have
had
had,
had my lunch cooked, for example, right?
for example, yes.
Yes, it exists. I'm not saying that it doesn't because we are talking about the past perfect and we are using the action in the past. But in this case, when we are referring the causative, no, you can't.
Ah, okay.
Because we are talking right now about causative verbs. We are not talking about grammar structures, simple grammar structures. Because remember, last month we reviewed the past perfect tense and we had an example there that says, we had, I don't remember the context, but we had this. And even in tag questions, do you remember? We reviewed tag questions and we also had an example that says, I or she had something done. No, it was
Ah,
like that.
okay.
And of course, whenever we are talking about the past perfect tense, yes, because we're talking about a simple tense, past perfect. We are not talking about, and I will show you right now, just because I don't want you to get confused with this. We are talking about right now causative verbs. In causative verbs, no, we cannot repeat the auxiliary and also use a causative. Otherwise, this would not be understood as causative. This will be understood like a past perfect. And you will see why right now. I will show you. Our previous model was 810. This is the difference, right? Let me show you, please, the top questions that we review, and you will see the difference. and why you cannot use a causative with the same auxiliary, because you will be changing then, not a causative, but you will be changing to past perfect. And we are not reviewing now past perfect tenses. We are reviewing causative, specifically only this use, causative, not
Okay.
past perfect. I think it's here. Yes, this is it. I guess that. Let me show you, please. So remember that when we were in model 10, we review here, past perfect tense. In tag questions, we said this. Here, as you see here, past perfect structure, the auxiliary is in the past, right? Have in the past. And here you said, you had lunch, hadn't you? Yes, this is the past perfect. And yes, you can use two hats. Why? Because this is the auxiliary, it's not the action. And this one is the action. And the grammar structure for the past perfect tense is subject, followed by the auxiliary had, followed by the verb in the past participle form. And the past participle of the verb have is had, and then the complement. Just because we are talking about the past perfect tense. This is not causative. This is past perfect tense. But when we are talking about causative, no, we cannot use double hat. Why? Because we will be changing from causative to past perfect. And it wouldn't be causative anymore, right?
Okay.
It would
Okay.
be
Yeah,
past
understand.
perfect. Mhm. That's the reason why. So right now we're just reviewing on causatives, not past perfect. That's why we cannot repeat the auxiliary have. No way, it's not possible. Otherwise,
Okay.
we will be moving to the other.
Okay. Then the only six cases with this structure that we are seeing right now is present simple, past simple, future simple, and the continuous of each one.
Yes.
When we talk about present, the verb is in the simple past. When we talk about past, the verb is going to be in the past participle. And the only case in which the verb is going to be in the base form is in the future continuous.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
All right, very good.
Then I will go to complete the practice.
The practice, please.
Teacher,
Tell me.
can we see the practice a little bit?
Yes, of course. Would you like me to share the practice on the screen?
Yeah, I just would like to know how can we difference you use have or had, for example, when the verb is in, like watched is a regular verb. How we know that the verb is in the past simple or in the past participle form?
It
to
says
use
have.
have or had.
Let me see, please. Let me share the practice. All right, here it is. Which one, please?
Like in the first one, it says I washed my car, for example. The
Mhm.
verb is a regular verb. Then how we know that is in the present simple or in the present? How we know if it's in the past simple or in the past participle form to
It
use
would
have or had?
it would be depending on the structure that you're using, the auxiliary that you're using. If we are talking about tenses, that will depend on the auxiliary that we have before the verb, the regular verb. If I have, for example, have as a tense for the present perfect, I have my car washed, then that will be present perfect, right? And this will be in the past participle. But if I here have, for example, just washed after the subject, this is in the simple past because we know that in the simple past tense, we have to use the verb in the simple past, no, without auxiliary. I washed my car. This is simple past.
It is not a sentence like that. It is separated by bars. There are
Yes, I
just
know.
words.
I know. But if we were reading this sentence as it is like a sentence, for example, I wash my car, this will be simple past, right? And this verb is being in the
Okay, then
simple
the
past
verb is
tense.
going to
But
the auxiliary is going to be have the present.
yes, if we had an auxiliary before it, like have, that will be the only case in which this is going to be participle. I have my car washed.
Okay.
See, that will be the,
And in the next, like she cut her hair. How we know that is past simple or past um,
this is
participle?
present. Oh, yes, because you said that cut, 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 right?
Of course.
All right. Well, we will have to read the context of the sentence. Always we are going to focus on the context. It is very important to read the context. Here we don't have, if we had here more information about when she got this haircut done, like maybe last month or 1 day ago or 1 hour ago, we will identify this sentence as simple past. But in this case, I will be identifying this sentence as simple present. She cut her hair. Present.
Then
Because
is
here
in the
I don't
present.
have, yeah, for me, if we were reading as regular statement, I will say yes. But because we know that we have to change it to the past participle, then I am going to understand that all of these sentences are going to be in the simple past tense. All of them. Why? Because the main objective on this practice is to apply causatives into changing into the past participle, all of them. Therefore, I
Then
know that
all of
all
the
of my
verbs are in the
statements
past
are
participle.
all of my, yes, all of my verbs here, no matter if they are regular or irregular, are in the simple past. All of them. Why? Because it is requesting me to change into the past participle. But
Okay, then
if
all
I
of the
will be
verbs are in the simple past.
all of them, all of them,
Okay,
all of them,
then
yes.
they are in the simple past. Then the auxiliary that I have to use is have and get or not.
In these cases, in these sentences, yes. But here is requesting you already, no? Because we don't have the causative here. So you have to type in here I had my car washed because it's requesting you to change it into the past participle.
I have my car washed.
I had,
I had.
yes,
Why had? Why
yes,
had?
because all of them are in the simple past, and in the next structure of the simple past is the past participle. If you're talking about a time of the simple past, the next move will be to change it into the past participle because you cannot keep it as the simple past.
Oh, then the practice is to change all of them into the past participle of the verb,
Yes,
form of the verb. Then all of them, all of the auxiliaries should be like had or got.
exactly.
Okay, and for example, in the fourth, no, in
Mhm.
the sixth, for example, they painted my room. The answer would be I I got my bedroom painted by
By them.
them.
Yes, you have to use a possessive adjective, not they
Okay,
as a subject. Mhm.
okay then. Okay, and then all of the answer, all of the sentences. Well, no, not all of them. Like Alice cut her grass. It must be Alice had her grass cut by by her, but I think it is not necessary.
Yeah, it is not necessary to add by who was the action done. Just mention Alice had her grass cut.
In the fourth, it is like he fixed my washing machine. I got my washing machine fixed by him.
Yes,
Okay, then all of them is going to be in the same structure.
yes.
When it's
All right.
necessary to add for who was made the action, we do, but when not, we don't.
Yes, when it's necessary, yes. When it is not, it's okay.
Okay. I hope that the page is programmed in that way. Like it doesn't put like it's bad just for putting for who was made the action.
Yes, or you can include for who, because that will be a complete way. Just type in for who was the action made. Mention the person that did the action,
Even if it
because
was
that's the
me.
complete way. Yes. If you don't
Okay.
have a subject, for example, in the sentence, you will say, I had this thing done
By me.
by a person, right? Because sometimes, let me see, my uncle repaired my, I had my uncle
No, I had my fridge repaired
repaired
by
by
my
my
uncle.
uncle. Mm-hmm. Let me see which in which we don't have a subject. I got my garden tilled by the cleaner. Yeah, in all of them you have to mention. In this one, for example, I got my garden tilled by the cleaner, right? Yes,
Yeah,
include
I think that.
please.
By that man, by Erin, by Sarah.
Yes, because here we have that man, Erin, Sarah,
Okay, then
Afsi.
I should include for who. And should I have to put like the final dot? Because I think that there are not.
Yes, you have to include. Do so. Do it as a complete way. All right.
And what did you say?
Do it as a complete way. Do it the way that it's for you, like very complete and correctly. Just include the
Okay,
dot.
like with the final dot.
Yes, do so because I think it's better for you to do the way you are taught to be do it, right? Instead of just avoiding stuff just because the practice is or the system is going to mark as incorrectly or not, right? It's better
And you
to
will
do as
check
it is.
you will check the practice like
One by one,
without.
yes, we will do.
Okay, okay.
Don't worry. Mhm.
Then I will complete it.
All right. Well, we are going to continue on Monday, all right? And
Okay, all right.
because let me think already. Yes. So let's please work on the survey. And that will be all for today. Okay, Leandro? And
Okay,
don't
then
get
by WhatsApp
confused.
I will tell you when I finish the practice.
Yes, please let me know. And I will be also waiting for it. No worries.
Okay, and teacher, yesterday the activities that I had to complete, um, did you check? Did you check them?
Yes, before I included the grade on your grade book, yes, I did. All
Okay,
of them.
and there were all, aren't weren't they?
Yes, yes, all of them were correctly recorded. So
Okay,
don't worry about it because at first you had a score, I think it was you had an 80, 86, and then it changed into 94 with the assignments. Mhm.
okay,
Yes, that's why I requested you to work on them again.
okay,
So don't you worry. All of the assignments were checked. All
okay.
right.
Thank
So you can, if you want, during the weekend, you can start working on the activities of just the simple causative verbs and the vocabulary that we review in pronunciation and writing. And on Monday, we will finish with this unit. So I will open all the assignments from this unit, but that doesn't mean that you have to finish all of them, okay?
you.
That
Okay,
means that you can start working on them if you want, of course. If not, you can also do it on Monday. It depends on you, but just if you want to begin, doing the writing, pronunciation, and conversation practices that you have there, so you can start.
okay.
All right, Leandro, we'll have an excellent weekend
You
and
too,
see you
teacher.
Monday. And on Monday, we will have classes from Monday to Friday at 5, okay? From 5 to 6.
From 5 to 6. Yeah, okay.
Yes, please. Oh, like we will go back to the regular. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much and see you Monday.
See you Monday, teacher.
Have a
Goodbye.
great weekend. Goodbye.
Have a good weekend.